same condition that the Lord pronounced on Israel in the 26th chapter of Leviticus. Deuteronomy chapter 28, and just began reading at verse 1. We're going to skip. I just want to read a little bit of this. Go ahead and read.
And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth.
Go ahead.
And all these blessings shall come on thee and overtake thee, if thou shalt hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
Now they don't put no emphasis on, because there's condition here, isn't it?
Right.
If you obey all these commandments that I command you, then all of these blessings gonna come on. But they don't bother put no emphasis on that. They just go there and read. See, the Lord gonna bless you, and he gonna bless you in the field, and he gonna bless you in the city, and bless you with all of that. That's all they read.
That's right.
Yes, it is.
I'm surprised they even go here. But at least one good thing though, at least they taking you to the right scripture, that if you decide to go and read the rest of it, you might find something out.
That's right.
You might even discover who you are. So I guess it ain't all bad then. Even though they is taking you here to justify the doctrine of material gain. Read a little bit more.
Blessed shalt thou be in the city, and blessed shalt thou be in the field.
Go ahead.
Blessed shall be the fruit of thy body, and the fruit of thy ground,
Go ahead.
and the fruit of thy cattle, the increase of thy kind, and the flocks of thy sheep.
So now, you know, the Lord here, he's talking to Israel. That's who he's talking to. And he's saying, if you obey my commandments, then all of these blessings will come upon you. You'll be blessed in the city, blessed in the field, and all of that. But now, on the other hand, if you choose not to obey, skip down to verse 15. Go ahead and read it when you get it. Verse 15.
But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes which I command thee this day,
Go ahead.
that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. Cursed shalt thou be in the city, and cursed shalt thou be in the field.
Now the Lord said, if you don't obey these commandments, all these curses going to come upon you. You'll be cursed in the city, you'll be cursed in the field. Skip down to verse 25. We're going to just skip through a few of them. Go ahead and read.
The Lord shall cause thee to be smitten before thine enemies. Thou shalt go out one way against them, and flee 7 ways before them,
Go ahead.
and shall be removed into all the kingdoms of the earth.
Do you understand what remove means?
Sir.
Remove means that somebody is going to come and get you and take you somewhere. This is what he's saying to the Israelites now. You will be removed, he said, into all the kingdoms of the earth. You will not migrate. Migrate and remove, that's two different things.
That's right.
Migrate, I decided I wanted to go somewhere else.
That's right.
Remove, somebody else decided they wanted to take me somewhere else. So now the Lord said, you will be removed into all the kingdoms of the earth. This is the Israelites that he's talking to. This ain't everybody that he's talking to here. It is the Israelites. Let's get it straight. Continue read. Did you finish that 25th verse?
Yes, sir.
Well, skip down to verse 29. Go ahead and read.
And thou shalt grope at noonday, as the blind gropeth in darkness, and thou shalt not prosper in thy ways.
See what the Lord said, and Israel, you're not going to prosper in your way. You ever wonder why we are the least prosperous people on the planet? Well, here it is. Because the Lord said, if you choose not to obey my commandments, then you will be removed into all the kingdoms of the earth, and you will not prosper in your ways. You got just as much sense as anybody else,
That's right.
but yet you are on the bottom and everybody else is on the top. Why is that? Because the Lord said you will not prosper in your ways. Go ahead and read on.
And thou shalt be only oppressed and spoiled evermore, and no man shall save thee.
He said, and you will be oppressed and you will be spoiled, which means robbed, evermore, and ain't nobody gonna save you. They've been trying to save you ever since they put you in. There's been somebody trying to save you, and ain't nobody been able to do it yet.
That's right, brother.
You know, you just name them, both Israel and Gentiles as well. Been trying to save you, and ain't nobody been able to do it yet. Why? because this is a divine curse that's on you, and the only somebody that's going to take it off you is the true and living God.
Right,
and He's appointed a time He's going to do it. What verse are we?
Verse 30.
Now skip down to verse 43. Go ahead and read.
All thy trees and fruits of thy land shall the locust consume.
Mm-hmm.
The stranger that is within thee shall get up above thee very high, and thou shalt come down very low.
Now these are the other people that's among you, that you are among. He said he said they gonna get up above you very high, and you are going to come down very low. In other words, they will be on the top, and you will be on the bottom. And you know who's on the bottom. You might not want to say it, but you know. Everybody. It ain't no great secret. So now, he said they're going to get up very high. You going to come down very low. Go ahead and read on.
He shall lend to thee, and thou shalt not lend to him.
In other words, Israel, you will not be doing any lending.
That's right.
You will be the one that's always doing the borrowing. Does that sound like you, Israel, or do that sound like the people that you call Israel? Who that sound like?
Sound like us,
He the
brother.
one that's doing the lending.
That's right.
Every time you go to the bank to get you a 30-year mortgage, guess who's sitting in front of you? And if it ain't an Edomite sitting in front of you, he is in the back room pulling the strings. When the deal is over, the one that's sitting in front of you, he going to get about $30,000, and Edom sitting in the back room going to get $300,000. That's how it is. You understand what I'm saying? But now, the Lord said to Israel, he said, you would not lend to anybody. You are the one that will always be doing the borrowing. When the last time you loaned somebody more than $2? That you was back 2 hours later asking for it. Because you ain't got nothing. You understand? Because the curse is on you. That's why you don't have nothing. Go ahead and read some more.
He shall be the head, and thou shalt be the tail.
And you know you are the tail, Israel. Go ahead and read.
Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee,
now
and
he
shall
said,
pursue
moreover,
thee.
all these curses shall come upon you. Why will they come upon you? Go ahead and read.
And shall pursue thee, and overtake thee.
And overtake you. Go ahead and read.
Till thou be destroyed.
Go ahead.
Because thou hearkenedest not unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to keep his commandments and his statutes which he commanded thee.
That's why he said he'll be upon you, because you refuse to listen unto the voice of the Lord your God to obey his commandments. That's why they're upon you. Go ahead and read a little bit. And they're not just upon the generation that was back there in Moses' day. Look what else he says here. Go ahead and read it.
And they shall be upon thee for a sign and a wonder.
Wait a minute, he said they shall be upon thee for a sign and a wonder. You know, because you got this controversy. You got people like us saying, we are the Israelites. Then you got people saying, no, them people over there in the land that are really Edomites said, no, they are the Israelites. And they're even saying, we are the Israelites. Now, that means there's a controversy then, doesn't it? You understand what I'm saying? You want to settle a controversy real easy. All you have to do is just read the curses and find out who they are.
That's right.
Find the people that's got the curses on them, and you have discovered Israel. Because the Lord said they would be upon you for a sign and for a wonder. You know what a sign is? A sign is something that points out something.
That's right.
Go ahead and read the next verse.
And upon thy seed forever.
And not just upon those generations way back there, but he said also upon thy seed even forever. So now, when Israel, we're going to show you, when Israel messed up back in the days of Daniel, the curses came up on them. When they messed up in the days of the apostles, the curses came up on them.
That's right.
Israel messed up in 70 AD, and the curses came up on them, and they are still up on them even to this very day. Skip down to verse 63. Go ahead and read.
And it shall come to pass that as the Lord rejoiced over you to do you good and to multiply you, so the Lord will rejoice over you to destroy you and to bring you to naught, and ye shall be plucked from off the land.
Who bringing this destruction up on Israel? The Lord is doing it. That's what the book said, didn't it? You know, but then you get these brothers that don't understand things. They want to blame the Gentiles for it.
Yes,
but the Lord, but he said, and then shall the Lord bring these curses up on you. Go ahead and read on.
And ye shall be plucked from off the land whither thou goest to possess it.
And he said, you shall be taken from off the land whether you go to possess it. Go ahead and read.
And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people, from the one end of the earth even unto the other.
See what it said? And the Lord will scatter you among all people, from one end of the earth even unto the other. Go ahead and read on.
And there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone.
And that's what you serve in Israel. You serving other gods. Trust me, you are serving other gods. No, I believe in the Bible, Brother Daniel. No, you ain't serving the God of the Bible. I'm going to just give you one example. The God of the Bible said keep the seventh day as the Sabbath day, didn't it?
Yes, sir.
But what day do them gods you serve say keep as the Sabbath day? The first day, right? You're not serving the God of the Bible. You're serving other gods, even gods of wood and stone. Go ahead and read some more.
Verse 65.
Go ahead and read.
And among these nations shalt thou find no ease, neither shall the sole of thy foot have rest.
Go ahead.
But the Lord shall give thee there a trembling heart and failing of eyes and sorrow of mind.
In other words, it will not be well with you, Israel. Let's go now to 2 Kings chapter 17, and we're gonna pick it up at verse 7. Now these are the things that the Lord pronounced upon Israel, didn't it? If they did not obey his commandments. Let's go to 2 Kings chapter 17, and we're going to pick it up at verse 7. First thing we're going to deal with here, we are going to deal with the 10 tribes. Because remember, the nation of Israel is split up into two nations. You had the 12 tribes, and then they split up into two nations. 10 tribes, they kept the name Israel, or sometimes even Ephraim they are called by, or even Samaria. And now, we're going to deal with those 10 tribes first. Start reading at 2 Kings chapter 17, and verse 7. 17 and verse 7. Okay, go ahead and read.
For so it was that the children of Israel had sinned against the Lord their God.
They did what?
Sin against
they had
the Lord.
sinned against the Lord. In other words, they had broken the commandment.
Yes, sir.
That's what sin is, isn't it? Go ahead and read on.
Which had brought them up out of the land of Egypt, from under the hand of Pharaoh, king of Egypt, and had feared other gods.
Go ahead and read.
And walked in the statutes of the heathen, whom the Lord cast out from before the children of Israel, and of the kings of Israel which they had made.
Go ahead.
And the children of Israel did secretly those things that were not right against the Lord their God. And they built them high places in all their cities, from the tower of the watchman to the fenced city.
Now think about it. Who got high places today? In whatever city you go in, who got high places on every corner? Who got high places on every corner? Let's think about it.
Sir.
That's another way I identify who Israel is. These people over here, they got the big synagogue here. Then you got to go miles to find another synagogue. Then you got to go miles to find another one. But then when you come among Israel, they got a church here, a church next door to it, then a tavern, then a chicken shack, then another church. And it goes on and on and on. Ain't that Israel?
Yes, sir.
They built high places everywhere. You was doing it in the land. You understand what your nature have not changed. Same thing that got you in trouble, that's the same thing you doing today.
Yes, sir.
What verse are we?
Verse 10.
Go ahead and read.
And they set them up images and groves in every high hill.
See what they did? They set them up images and groves in every high hill. Go ahead and read on.
And under every green tree. And there they burnt incense in all the high places, as did the heathen whom the Lord carried away before them, and wrought wicked things to provoke the Lord to anger.
Go ahead.
For they served idols, whereof the Lord had said unto them, ye shall not do this thing.
That was the first commandment that he gave them, wasn't it? You understand? You don't make any graven images of anything. But Israel, they